We've visited Star Wars Galaxy's Edge a couple of times since it's opened. And one of the things I find very interesting about the park and the design that they did was the cantina, Oga's Cantina. Specifically, all the tap rail system and the way that they pour drinks. That's really what inspired our cantina build and the design we wanted to go for. I mentioned before that we were diving full on back into our room build, and it was going to be something we wanted to do regularly. I specifically talked about multiple episodes of our cantina build. So without further delay, let's get into the next step. Okay, here's our drink rail. And it's time for us to add the other elements to this and install it. So on our drawing here that we did, we've already got the IG-88 head, and now we need to build a couple of these, and then this is our butterbeer. We are only going to build one of these so that the little aquarium that we built a while back will have a place. We built this guy many years ago. It's just created out of 2 potting plants with a cooler inside, and it's very crudely made. We did some foam that we glued in and a couple of PVC pipes. The cooler, which is nothing more than just one of those simple Rubbermaid coolers. So what we're gonna do is mount it right over this strap. So we've got to build us a little plate that goes across the top of here, and then we can use our 3D printed straps. Right, got our little 3D printed part here, so we just need to make sure we're in the right spot. I made the hole on my little plate here too small. I took my belt sander and I sanded down the PVC, and now I can get a fit. We got this, it's a little electrical box, that's really all it is. Designed the piece here in Fusion 360 so we could mount it to it. And before you yell at me about the Phillips heads, don't worry, it's backwards. No one is ever going to see them. I keep every bit of scrap acrylic I cut, and this is perfect as a base. And what we gotta do is mark it out, and then we can mount this guy in place. I love sprinkler heads, the top pieces, and we can use it as a little detail, similar to the same one that we have on our original tap that we built. Force it. When it doesn't fit, force it. That's not a good building technique. I'm in a pretty big hurry today, and a lot of times when I get in a hurry, I do goofy stuff. What I did was I took this piece and I put it on my belt sander and I sanded it down enough that we get a nice friction fit, but that it slides in place better. So yeah, when it doesn't fit, don't force it. With the butterbeer, it's just gonna be aesthetics. We're not actually gonna make it work, at least for right now. Well, what I'm doing here is making a tube, so we've got a feed tube here. On this one, I have these cool little details, and it just so happens that I was able to find some more. So we can attach those to our electrical box here, and that way they all match. We're gonna use this as our other tap piece. And I have something kind of cool. This is a resin cast of the front end of a DL44 blaster. I thought that would look pretty cool as the actual downspout. And then I've got a resin cast of one of the Falcon throttles. here it is. I added this detail at the top and I excluded the throttle. This service is enough for the idea that it would pour out of here. It's all for show. It's smoke and mirrors, right? So now we need to get this painted up. And then the next up, we'll lay in some hammered copper. One of the challenges has been this aquarium. This is a really inexpensive aquarium. And the idea was to fill it with water and use the bubble system and some colored dye along with a light at the top to give the illusion of a lot of fluid. That's a little challenging because water in here is going to make this very heavy, meaning attaching to the pipe flange needs to be really secure. And I don't have the time to design a new attachment point. So we're going to go ahead and bolt the acrylic to the bottom of this piece, and then we're going to use an additional flange attachment we have here. This will allow us to go ahead, everything together, and inside we'll use a little Halloween fog generator, and it'll give the illusion of something inside. Okay, so we're going to use some .040 styrene. We're going to actually wrap that around our tube here. We need to make an opening, and so we're going to draw that opening out on the sheet here and cut it out. Now I'm going to use a can of paint here to create the oval shape here. I got a pretty bad piece right here. I'm gonna have to try to file those down. So I screwed up and I put this too close to the other edge. It's not gonna work like that, so I gotta make it again. Okay, version 2 is done. It is much better. All the lines are really clean on this, and now it's gonna fit really well. I'm going to use contact cement to attach this. That'll give it a nice tight seal. Alright, not too bad. We got half of it done. The challenge is holding it tight all the way, and I may have to. Yep. Time to get a second pair of hands. It's not the easiest thing to do. Have it? Okay. Oh my god, what a pain in the butt. Okay, there we go. That's what I needed. Okay, with a little struggle, we got it. What I didn't take into consideration is the fact that this thing actually tapers ever so slightly. It's narrower at the bottom than it is at the top. And so what that's caused, the bulge here at the bottom. The nice thing is, once it's installed, it's not noticeable. I'm adding a strip around the bottom. Look at this little antenna detail I want to add. I don't know why. Why does a thing that holds some kind of booze for a cantina need an antenna? I have no idea. Do I care? No, I don't. Got a little burnt iron sprayed on that, and then I hit it with just a little bit of a metallic rust. Now, one thing I really want to test is a little lighting on this thing. See how that's going to look. Now let's see. So that's a decent glow. Once we end up with our fountain at the bottom, putting some smoke and things in there, it should look pretty sweet. Okay, we're missing, I don't know, something for the top. And I just happen to have this cool piece. My buddy Jamie Dole from the Outer Rim sent this to me. It feels like the perfect thing to have on top. If you're asking me what it is, I have no idea. Maybe Jamie can tell us in the comments, but it's cool. There we go. I can't begin to tell you the amount of fun that both Chris and I have had putting this together. This portion of the room really reinvigorated us to get back in here and get back to work. And we're really pleased with how everything is turning out. Now, before you ask, my little friend here that has the glowing, smog-filled little treat, yes, there will be an alien creature inside, and that will help hide the fog machine, as well as give it a little bit more life, if you will. And there's a lot of other things we've already been working on, things we've already finished that you just can't see. But if you want to see that, you make sure and subscribe, hit the like button for us, and come back the next time we build something out of nothing.